People on Earth, boys and girls, round of applause because we have a true legend here today with us. It's DJ Nucleus, live and full effect right here in Russia, St. Petersburg. Dave, what's going on, man? Nice to meet you.
Yeah, cool.
Welcome to Russia.
Thanks, yeah, nice.
Now it's lots of girls with the breads and salts has to be here, but this is going to be later. Okay, you know, always a bigger pleasure have you here in Russia, and thank you that you come to our station. This is radio 11th radio, and our station dedication to all the drum and bass and jungle music around the world. So the first question that I want to ask you, it's about your past. You started your little adventure called DJing in 1986.
Yeah, I got into music then. I was into hip hop, like electro, breakdancing. I started off breakdancing and got into the music. Did a little bit of graffiti and all that as well. And gravitated more to the music. I saw a film called Beat Street, and there was a guy, and he had turntables in his bedroom. And there was like Grandmaster Flash, and there was like Malcolm McLaren had some tunes out and scratching in that. So I was more interested in the music really. So I bought turntables in 1986. I was about 11.
You're not going to believe the same story like I have.
Yeah.
I was like at 1994, saw the video of some guy that's spinning on records, and I just
I mean it's different. It's totally different. So.
But you know, in your time, even in 1986, you can buy the Technics turntables everywhere in stores. Here in Russia, it's like nobody knows. Like people play on tapes.
Oh yeah, I had really shit turntables to start with. They weren't
not Technics at first.
No. They didn't have a pitch control, so I used to spin the record around my finger to like time it up. So I just used to learn how to scratch.
So the first pair of Technics, what year did you get it for yourself?
That was about 92, I think. It was quite late, really. I had like crap turntables for ages.
You from small town in England, right?
Yeah.
Close to the London. Not far
just outside,
from
like north of London. Yeah.
And this is, I think, was really peaceful and lovely neighborhood. What's going on there with hip hop, man? How's this story start, man?
Yeah, it's Harlow. The town's called Harlow, and there was a good like hip hop scene there. There was all our age group were all into hip hop. Like everyone used to break dance. Like loads of my friends used to break dance, and there was a lot of like my friend Trax, DJ Trax. That's how I met him. We was in a crew called Electro Breakers. We used to go up to town centre and just break, and that's how I met Dev through Trax. And there was a good little scene, yeah, like graffiti artists, breakers, everything, like music, making tunes. It's good.
So in that time, that your duet with Paradox started too, because you started all together in that street.
Yeah, around that area, yeah, because he used to rap, and we was all into hip hop and the same thing. And I met him through Trax, and
in a hip hop sound. In more hip hop sound.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, that was. I mean, he used to rap, so that was more sort of. That was 86, 87, around then. Electro sort of died out by then, and it was more Eric B. Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, that sort of thing.
All of this American rap music.
Yeah.
Even in England.
Yeah, it's big in England.
It's big massive, everywhere, everywhere. But not Run DMC or something like totally old. You're more for underground hip hop than for like a commercial song.
Yeah, well, they weren't really. It wasn't really commercial. Well, you had Run DMC, they were big, but they weren't really seen as commercial. But they were kind of commercial.
What do you think the hip hop music can help you in the future to be a musician with a different breaking style? I mean, like for example, you starting to collect break beats.
Yeah, that's how I got. Yeah,
the hip hop can be a roots for that kind of styles in music, even for drum and bass. Because I find it for myself to mix it up some hip hop slowly records. It's ideal for like drum and bass or jungle. Because you can mix it these two grooves and temps all together. You can mix it house with drum and bass. It's a different view. Yeah. But hip hop, it's like
it's like half speed, isn't it? Some of it, yeah.
You exactly that person that I want to ask you the question I always want to ask, because you're from England, right? And I know the Great Britain is always stay for capital word for drum and bass music. That country brings to whole world that sound of true drum and bass and jungle. And this is start exactly the time when you starting to do this graffiti and dancing and rapping style in the street. Tell me, how's this revolutions, because this is in front of your eyes is all this happening. So can you tell me from the first page how you saw how jungle and drum and bass get to be a popular and the clubs?
Yeah, well, we was into hip hop when the rave scene sort of exploded in the late 80s in England, and that's how it started. Well, the way I see it was, so a lot of people into hip hop started to go to these raves because it was, you know, quite good fun, and but the music was like house music and techno. There were people who were into it, but they wanted to add a different flavour to it, like the hip hop, like using the break beats from the hip hop and soul samples and reggae sort of bass lines. And then, so they sort of changed, it become just sort of music. It changed from house to be like putting break beats in it and gradually sped up, and they'll just throw any kind of sounds into it. There was techno as well, like Belgium techno.
Right.
Stuff, influences from like Europe as well. You could put anything into it. But so it was English people, a lot of the producers were into hip hop before, or soul, funk and reggae and that, and they were just putting all that into the mix. And it gradually evolved and got faster. You know, it was hardcore, and it turned into jungle, and it turned into drum and bass.
So I think this is really important, like you said, to, you know that word in English, it's called melomanic.
It's called what?
I was looking for Wikipedia, and this is meloman, как правильно сказать? It's a founder for the music. Not a digger, but a founder for the music.
Yeah.
It's in Russian. It's called beautiful word, meloman, melomanic. Melomanic. It's the person who likes lots of kind of style, who listening to lots of music. He didn't close himself for one style and only this style.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So you put from yourself, you know, lots of different styles. You've started from hip hop, funk, breaks, and you think this is really important to be a good DJ or to be a musician to get before that some baggage of this kind of different music.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, I mean, it depends what music it is. Some people just get into music and they're just influenced by that music and, you know, like minimal techno, saying it doesn't really, I don't know. You know, some people might get into drum and bass and they're not really bringing other influences into it. It's just sort of, you see, but there's nothing wrong with that.
But this makes you still alive and doing for a long time. That's what you do.
I mean, it's good. I don't know, different types of music work different ways, you know. You can have influences, but sometimes, like the evolution of jungle with the drum and bass, it was just kind of mad samples thrown in there. But then it became like a form of music with all them influences, you know what I mean? And then it went off into all different places, didn't it?
Can you tell me exactly when you start to feeling it, that's the becoming like a big hit, like a big music, like people's gonna dance and understand that's the culture, jungle massive and stuff. Can you tell me when exactly this started? Because
when it got big.
Huh?
When it got really big? Well, with jungle, it was kind of like, it was around 94, like General Levy, and it just, jungle exploded, it was everywhere, like the reggae side.
Even in clubs?
It was a lot of, yeah.
Commercial clubs?
Yeah, there's tunes in the some
Really?
some tunes got in the pop charts. Yeah, and then you know it kind of there was a bit of a backlash against that sound, and it became a bit more underground afterwards. And then it sort of turned into drum and bass more. I mean, it was drum and bass before. It's hard to separate jungle, drum and bass, and even hardcore. It's all kind of the same thing.
Because my next question is about why jungle and drum and bass always stay at underground rave. It's not a commercial music. Not many people using and like tracks and stuff, the beats and I don't know. It's more like underground scene. And why is that? It's a rave thing, like.
Well, back then it was I mean the music on the pop charts was just crap. 80s. There was a lot of crap. Well, at the time it was crap, but some of it sounds alright now. But so you either listen to Radio 1 didn't play anything. It was just pop music, most of it. They did have
at BBC.
I mean, they'd have different styles of music late at night, but they didn't play any jungle or anything like that till later on. And so you had to go to raves. The whole rave scene is different to going to your local nightclub because there would just be people going there to get drunk and have a fight. Whereas at the raves, there's thousands of people all night dancing and doing whatever. But it was a totally different experience, So it came out of that. But then that has become the norm now. The raves have become, normal, aren't they? Everywhere you go, it's been...
Dave, please tell me, in your childhood, what kind of music did you listening back there? And maybe your parents have a turntables and some vinyls, or maybe something from there that you...
Yeah, I was just listening to... I was into Madness, and there's a band called Madness, and just pop stuff, just not... I was into any cool...
Not rock, not anything.
Anything really. My mum and dad had a few records, about that many records. I used to go for the Beatles and all stuff like that. I remember the film Flash Gordon come out in the 80s. I had the soundtrack.
Yeah,
that was one of the first
yeah.
records I bought, and that's pretty crazy. It's got all like special effects and dialogue, and it's quite cinematic. If you listen to it, it's like half the films on the vinyls. That's quite... I remember that was like an influence when I was young. It was like when electro kind of, because I was breakdancing, that kind of totally changed the way what I was listening to.
And this was at 1980?
No, that was about 1984, 1983, 1984. Because you needed some music like that to breakdance to. I remember listening to some of my old records and breakdancing. It just... anyway, electro kind of changed everything. The hip hop thing, It was electro, it was more electronic to start with, and then they started using old funk samples, it changed.
But the first records that you bought was hip hop, probably.
Yeah, electro, yeah.
Electro.
Yeah.
I know you're looking always, not just for the music on the records, you're also looking for the sample. Like, you want to use something from the records. It's got to be work for you, like, for 100%. So, any records that you're buying, you are thinking for digging not only for the music, also for the sample.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. To start with, it was break beats, because the hip-hop, they started using breaks more and more as, in around 85, 86. And they brought out these albums, Ultimate Breaks and Beats, as a compilation series.
Tools for the
of break beats, and you get 2 copies and you count them up, So I used to be into that and look for the originals. It's quite hard. I was quite young. It's quite hard to find the originals, but so it was get 2 copies and cut up the break, like keep it going. And
that's called beat juggling, right?
Not juggling. It was just it was for breakers to break to. You would just play 2
with the drums.
Yeah, just keep the beat going, like Apache, or.
Why are you doing that? Do you have a picture of yourself in the future to do some battles with anybody, or why are you doing that?
I don't know. It wasn't like for battling. It wasn't even for playing in clubs. It was just
for yourself.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I see like Grandmaster Flash doing it, and saw it in films like Wild Style, and you just emulate it. And there was a DJ Cheese. When they first started doing the competitions, the DJ Cheese was like the best he won, I think it was 86, he won the DMC, but he was like
Yeah.
really good at scratching. So I used to just copy everything he did.
And he was doing the mixes, yeah? Like, this was like record?
Yeah, he was cutting up 2 breaks
okay.
and all different stuff. Really good at scratching, like the best at the time. And then like Jazzy Jeff came along, and it just elevated from there. It's transforming and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, so I was buying funk records for breaks and just looking for sounds. Because I was into hip hop and I used to make, I had a 4-track tape recorder, so I used to make little mixes, loop the break beats with a pause button.
On the tape?
Yeah, yeah. So you know you have a pause button.
Right,
yeah,
at the 4 tape there.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll just loop a break. But I had a 4-track tape recorder, so I could, and then scratch over the top of that, add like a bass line. So I used to make little tracks and little mixes on this 4-track.
That's where it helps you to record that stuff, yeah?
Yeah, well, that's when I first started making tunes, yeah. And my friends used to rap, and so I made a few sort of hip-hop tunes. That was around 87 or something, 88. And then the rave scene kicked off, yeah, and I got, it moved on to computers. DJ Trax was using an Amiga, and there was another DJ in Harlow called DJ Raw. And I made the first track in '92 with him, DJ Raw. It was like a hardcore tune, yeah. Came out on Brain Records.
That's like a break beats or more?
It was called hardcore at the time. Yeah, rave, I don't know, rave music.
You see, I never heard in a rave, maybe in a chill out room, hip hop sound or jazz sound.
Oh, it was like hip hop breaks sped up with rave samples and the bass line, sub bass, you know.
So it's still the same hip hop music, but a little bit sped up, and you put it something else. It's called mashup, man.
Yeah,
that's what DJ doing this time right now. Like I mean, in nowadays. Yeah. But what's really cool about it that you're still doing that. I mean, even here in Russia, you show me on your telephone and your map card. The stores that you know where you can go and buy the records. Not many people who lives here in that city knows that we have a record store. And actually, I want to tell you that fact. In Russia, St. Petersburg, it's only city that has more than 20 record stores. Even in Moscow, you can find it. Oh, there in Moscow, only like 6, 7. And here is lots of marketing of vinyl, like a village marketing and that stuff. And this is becoming more and more popular for a young generation.
Yeah, yeah, vinyl's cool again, so...
Why? Tell me that, why? I want to know,
I don't know, yeah. I think it's because people, they like to buy something and actually have it in their hand, you know, because MP3, downloading...
All my DJs who was playing records before, he told me, no, I'm stopping because this is heavy.
Yeah, well,
but you have to love this.
I don't buy that much now. I used to, but I don't know. I think it's because people was downloading MP3s, and it's like you're paying for something. It's just something sitting on your computer. But you want people like to have the artwork, have something.
Even people who
and
dance,
the sound quality. People like the sound quality. It's like analog.
Thanks for Analogue, man. And you bring it like true from England, and you tell us that you're still doing that. That's
yeah. So today I was looking for the record shops. Looked on Google, found out what they was.
I know that you're looking.
It's quite good. I can just, look at my phone and find the shop.
I know that you are collecting samples and you're digging for interesting original grooves from lots of different countries.
Yeah, anything that looks interesting.
That's why I brought you today a few Russian records, which is, I think, really is going to be help you with making some good new stuff that we're going to hear it here in Russia. It's going to be so big.
There's some good stuff.
That first record, it's really rare stuff from 78, I think. No, it's from 90. It's called Listen and Learning Speak English. Yeah, and this is records, my friends, actually not about to speak English. This is from for English people to speak Russian. Seriously, you have to listen.
Yeah, I think I need
that's so cool. The another one, it's like a synth pop from 90s. It's Electro Club. Nice. It's a really cool. I know exactly that's going to be. You're going to choose for sure some of the tracks that put it on some of the music. Because before that, I was listening to the tracks that you're doing. So I was listening. Cool if he's gonna using something from that.
You never know.
Yeah, and this is a classical. Of course, you have to have it Nutcracker Щелкунчик, that's Russian classical by Tchaikovsky, with the voices, with the Russian voices, like stories. And another one, it's like Russian disco, two records from 80s when you're gonna hear it.
I saw that today in the shop.
You see, you saw it today. I was thinking to give it to you.
Yeah, that's nice.
This is for you, my friend.
Thank you. Really.
Don't give it to Paradox, man. Actually, everybody...
Well, no, we're going to have to... If there's anything good, we'll have to use it together. So.
Everybody here in Russia thinks you're like a couple, man. Everywhere you're together. And where's Paradox right now?
He's on the way, isn't he?
Where?
I think he's stuck in traffic.
I think he's stuck at Teремok. Teремok is a Russian cuisine with really good food. Don't go there. Okay, another question. Just a second, I forget it, but this is really important, really important. So you and a Paradox always be a long, happy living duet, right? And do you know what Paradox's favorite color, for example? Come on, man, 20 years.
Color?
Cool guy. What a friends. What a friendship.
Yeah, I don't really talk about colours, favourite colours.
Can you tell me what's going on right now with the label that you do together? It's called Esoteric.
Yeah.
That's what it's saying in your T-shirt.
Yeah, we started it in, I think it was 2003, I think it was.
2003?
Yeah.
That long ago?
Yeah. Yeah, we're coming up to number 19. Yeah, it's just me and him, like, it's just our collaboration label.
Oh, that's
so all the tracks.
No, some inviters from...
Oh, no, we've got one remix. So it's our track, but we got someone to remix it. So.
Remix on yours.
Yeah, but our track, so...
So that label, it's just like dedication to your work with the...
Yeah. We do stuff on lots of other labels, but that's just our own label.
So, and it's still going on?
Yeah, coming up to number 19. It's out in December.
December, it's what?
It's released in December, number 19, yeah.
So you got new releases too?
Yeah.
How's this work? If some people want, some artists, let's say from Siberia in Russia, really wants to send you some demo or some of the music that they do here in Russia, how's this work when you got it?
I can send it and we check it out, yeah. It might.
And usually, no answer. No. What? Russia? No answer.
No.
Not like that.
Good stuff from Russia. No, check it out. Yeah. Never know.
Good stuff in Russia. You can even tell me one song that you know in Russian song. No? Kalinka Malinka, for example. Huh? You know what? It's going to be a few really short and fast. I mean, it's going to be questions that is going to be short and really fast to answer it. For example,
right.
Vodka or whiskey? Okay, doesn't drink.
No, I do like vodka. I've been getting into it. I used to like whiskey, but vodka straight, whiskey with Coke.
Really? This is because you're here in Russia.
No, well, I don't normally drink it, but I only like it when I come to Russia. I'm not just saying that.
Did you drink during your set?
I drink rum, like rum and Coke, dark rum. Yeah,
that's a true DJ drink.
That's my favourite drink. Yeah.
Did you drinking during your set?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, not too much, but.
You're not alcoholic?
No.
Okay. You know what? Lots of people think you are strictly drum and bass dude. Really. Like most of the tracks that they know, it's that kind of style. Yeah. And not many people knows that you collect different musics and you like hip hop, like you said today. But also I know you traveling or playing gigs everywhere with different styles. For example, hip hop and.
I played a thing in Italy a couple of months ago, and it was sort of like disco and house. I'm into all different stuff, like old house and disco. Mix it up, do like funk. But I was playing like reggae and funk and Brazilian stuff, all kind of stuff. Trying to mix it up for 2 hours.
How's this happen? The promoters who invite you, they know that you.
Yeah, he's my friend. Was one of he put on this festival in Italy, yeah, so it was like, but yeah, it's just, I don't get that many gigs playing it. Me and DJ Trax do quite a lot of gigs together, and we all just play whatever we want. We play for like hours, just hip hop, funk, reggae, like old school, like jungle.
Right.
A lot of house, that sort of tempo.
Tell me about more tracks, because Paradox coming any minute, man. This is a joke. He's not coming. So you still sometime using the vinyls, right?
Yeah.
Here in Russia, you didn't play vinyl because you told me they don't have a turntable.
Yeah, I know.
You know that story I was hearing from DJ Shadow. DJ Shadow, Lord knows DJ, right?
Yeah, I bought some backup
CDs. He's
CDs.
from United States, and his rider was writing that 2 turntables gotta be new, like with the oil, like I mean the new.
Brand new.
And here the people can't find the new turntables, so they tell him, well, the new we can, but use one, yeah, please. And he told no, use one. And he didn't take the used one because he needed a new one. And this is so strange because he played his set and then like laptop.
Yeah, Serato probably.
That's it. But I was expecting DJ Shadow with all that stuff.
Yeah, but then you got to carry all the thousands of records.
Talking about this American DJs, DJ Shadow, you here, and this is cool, man. So let me ask you, Dubplates in these days still around? You remember this
some people.
small record Dubplates called? What's going on? People still make it?
Not much, because it costs loads of money. There are some DJs that still play.
Why
Or they've been collecting old Dubplates of like, lots of unreleased jungle tunes that were only, never released. So there's a lot of people collecting the Dubplates and playing sets of them in the, different versions of tunes.
Can you explain what Dubplate mean? Like,
it's
just like a demo?
Yeah, it's they would just cut it's just a one-off kind of record. It only lasts for about 20 plays, just so you can play the track in the club and see what it's like. And so there was a lot of the times they cut these tunes, they might change the track, so it'd be a different version.
Or like
that ends up the version that comes out will end up being different sometimes. So you've got all these old Dubplates of different versions of tracks, like remixes that never came out and stuff like that. So people.
I always want to know, but not only me. Can you tell us, please, what's the difference between these two styles, jungle and drum and bass? For me, it's no difference.
Yeah,
it's the same music. Why people
fine.
saying this is jungle? No, this is drum and bass. Like whatever, it's a music.
Yeah,
Can you tell me the difference?
Not really.
At first, it was calling the jungle, right?
Yeah, well, it evolved. It was house and rave, house techno and that, and then it turned into hardcore. We started mixing up breaks and that, and then it sped up, and there was more sort of reggae influences and soul influences, and there was jungle. Turned it they started calling it jungle, but it was still really hardcore. It's the same thing. It gradually sped up. Drum and bass is the same, really. It's just maybe less reggae samples. Because like the jungle became really loads of reggae samples, it got really popular, and there was a bit of a backlash against that. So they started just making it more minimal, it's like drums and bass and some strings or whatever, and some minimal sounds. It's all the same thing, really. There's debates. People have debates about when when drum and bass started or when jungle started, and you can't really. It's just a big blur. You can't work it out.
Can you see the difference when you're playing? For example, if you play some. Let's say reinforced old tracks and mixing with some jump up tracks from 2000.
Yeah.
Can you do this stuff? Like, I mean, can you?
I don't really play jump.
You don't like to break the whole.
But it can do, yeah. Me and Trax, we do a radio show, and we used to start off like 1990, playing old like house and hardcore, and then, but over 2 hours we start off there, and then mix it up into like jungle and then the early drum and bass, and then more modern drum and bass sort of now, so you can mix it all together, but I mean you can chop the different tempos, so it depends how good you are mixing.
I find it myself like a year ago, that style footwork juke, for example.
Some of that's cool.
DJ Rashad from he passed away like 5 years ago, but he made that style.
Yeah.
And I find it for myself. It's really cool. That's Tech Life, they call it themselves, footwork and juke, mixing with the old style jungle. You play jungle slowly,
cool. It does.
Anything really new and futuristic can be played with that kind of group.
It's cool. Yeah.
Because at the footwork and juke, I find it many styles all together, like in slow and hardcore and jungle, like in one style they come together. So
I think nowadays you can mix it up more. Lately, last few years, people are more open-minded, and you can mix it up a lot more. Yeah, the music's got a lot better, and it's pretty good at the moment.
We have a few questions from our viewers, right? They wants to know. They wants to know, and they wants to know, for example, what's your biggest checks for your gig? Come on, man! In Russia, it's really popular.
I ain't answering that.
Just make it up, man.
Nah, don't.
You in Russia, nobody in England gonna know. No government. No vodka today.
Yeah, nah, not that one.
Okay, you see, guys, not any questions that you ask can be a good one here. It's England, man.
No silly questions.
Okay, I have a short question and fast answer. And the next one, Ganja Record or Animal Planet?
I don't know what's Animal Planet? What's that?
Animal Planet, the channel that you create in England, man. It's the channel totally about animals.
I thought it was a label.
They're making laugh and stuff. It's really cool to watch. So
early Ganja records when it first came out, definitely. Yeah. I haven't even checked their stuff for ages, but I'm sure there's some right. Hype is amazing DJ. Yeah, so.
Hype was one of my favorite DJ when I first heard, and I heard scratching. And
So I mean, when I used to go to the raves, he was one of the first DJs. Yeah, he would be scratching, and so that's how I used to scratch. It was the same.
And then a few days ago, I was listening to your podcast from Samurai Music, X45.
Oh, right, yeah.
And it's an amazing scratch, man.
Oh, cheers.
Like they say in the Tools Records, your scratching is good. You must practice a lot. Or how to say?
Oh, right.
Chinese.
Yeah.
You remember that samples? All the scratch tools. Short and fast question and answer. MC Konrad or Comrade Sergey?
It's got to be MC Conrad.
Thank you, because I'm Konrad Sergey. That's my natural name.
See, I didn't even know who that was.
Tell me about that. I remember listening in the early 90s. I have one audio tape that's amazing show, LTG Bookim and MC Conrad. I was thinking this is so philosophical, intelligent. Like this is not just about dancing, this is about really for soul, mind and body. And how's the MC Conrad put his lyrics on it, it's more like a song. It's not just like, it's like a song. It's whole set, whole music, whole the present. It was amazing. What do you think of that time?
Yeah, it was cool. We used to go to all the nights, logical progression nights. We had some tracks.
Logical progression. That's how they.
We had some tracks on their labels, the good-looking label, so Bookham's label. So yeah, we used to make tunes and they used to play them up there.
But more that you're listening to it was metalheads, right? Like Alex Reese, no, not that kind of.
Yeah, well, that's sort of Speed. We used to go to Speed, the club called Speed, and it was more mellow. It's Bookham and Fabio. So it wasn't all mellow, but and then metalheads took off. I can't remember what the year was, but that kind of Speed. People stopped going there and everyone started going to metalheads. Metalheads was like much harder music, but I actually preferred. At the time, I was more into the music of Speed. I missed that. The music of Speed, I kind of missed it because everyone just kind of stopped making it for some reason. And it all went really hard, which is cool as well. But
what we lose on the music?
Huh?
What we lose on the music? Why are you missing that?
Not everyone's. People still made it a bit, but it was we kept making stuff like that. That was just more kind of ambient kind of sound, and the samples. It was a different kind of vibe. But he still went on. He was doing like traveling around the world playing that stuff, so he didn't die or anything.
I used to live in 90s in Canada, in Toronto, And I know that Toronto was a big, like a, I don't know, big city for a drum and bass group.
Yeah, I know some people.
Every weekend we have a raves, big raves with DJs from England. Because not many DJs in that time from Canada, not many artists and DJs who play that music. I'm talking about 1996, 97 probably.
Yeah.
And I saw the difference later on, like in 2000. I think in England, in Europe, the music is more colder, like I mean cold, freezy. They're more experimental. They're more harder. For example, Europe gives to the world the Prodigy, man. It's so hard. No, I mean, in United States or Canada, the music more funkier, more happy, more.
That was it.
That's where I find it. Why this difference? Because England is more like stronger and harder, or what's going on?
I don't know, really.
You never think about it?
Not really, yeah. I think we got really hard. I wasn't really into some of it. It just got like noise, you know, like late 90s, early 2000s. I wasn't really into it. Drum and bass just got really noisy. But I like it when it's heavy, but it's got some kind of groove to it, you know. I like to try and mix up. So I'll play some heavy stuff and some mellow kind of tunes in the same set and try and go on some sort of journey or whatever, you know. Don't keep to the same sound for the whole set. It's pretty boring, you know what I mean?
Short question, fast answer. The last one, actually. What do I want to ask you? Yeah, it's easy. Prodigy or Scooter?
Prodigy. I saw the Prodigy at a rave in like 1991, I think it was.
That's
and
it?
They weren't even advertised. They were just, it's called Telepathy, this rave.
I'm sorry, 1991.
One. Yeah. And they weren't even advertised. They was.
That small kid?
I'll see them a few times because they lived in Essex, where Harlow's in an area called Essex, and they were from there. So I used to see them at a few raves. They're really good, early stuff.
But you heard Scooter too, yeah?
I know the name. I'm not sure they are.
I have a beautiful joke about the scooter. Like I always want to have a scooter like motorcycle, but this is joke bad. Okay, you know, lots of here. I heard in Russia, how to say, as people doing expression of this American comedy movie, old comedy movie. It's called "Don't Mess with South," blah blah blah, and this words coming like. What you do with my mama? You know, and I want to ask you the same question, but in different terms. What you know about Russia? 5 facts that you know about Russia. This is serious. All Russian government watching right now. You're going back to England? No, man, you're staying here. 5 facts that you know.
I don't know. No, that's not a very good question.
I think life in England, it's so cool, man. You don't have to know nothing else. Just live and enjoy. Okay, thanks a lot, Dave.
Yeah,
it was a big pleasure to know you.
It's nice. Yeah, cheers, man.
Thanks a lot.
Cool.
Our viewers wants to know, they wants to know some bizarre, crazy story happened to you during the set. People are so kinky in Russia, you know, they want to know everything.
Not that I saw that question and do you like drugs, don't they?
This is not about drugs.
No, there was another question, do you like drugs? I saw on the VK. Yeah, do a different question.
No bizarre stories, nothing.
No.
Even here in Russia.
Well, no.
You hiding
I
something.
turned up when there was no turntables. That was quite bizarre.
That's pretty bad, man.
Sorry.
That's cheesy. Okay, the last short and fast question and answer. 420 or Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds? Hmm?
What was the first one?
It's about question about the drugs, man. That's the last
Oh,
question.
no.
He don't do drugs. He don't do drugs. 420, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. I leave you with that, thinking about it. That's beautiful songs by Beatles.